Hey guys, what's up? So if you've seen my video earlier this week on how to build a wheel, you might be wondering how to make it straight. How do I true a wheel? Especially without a true-in stand. I know true-in stands can be up to like $200. Not everyone has that kind of money, and if you don't own a bike shop, there really isn't much point to you buying your own true-in stand unless you build wheels for other people. But today I'm going to teach you guys how to true a wheel without a true-in stand. So to do this, you'll need a couple of things. First of all, the wheel that you're going to true, all built up, some zip ties, a spoke key, you can get this in any bike shop, and of course, your bike. So first things first, you're going to grab your bike, and usually it's easiest to do this on your forks, but my forks have 10mm dropouts and my back wheel has a 14mm axle. So I have to do it on the back dropouts on the frame. But it doesn't matter, it works the same way. If your wheel fits the forks, do it on the forks, it's the easiest way. But we're going to grab the bike, take your wheel and put it on, and make sure it's flush against the dropouts. This is important as when you're truing the wheel, you want it to be centered. So when it's flush against the dropouts, you'll be able to center it better. So tighten the nuts on your wheel. So next you're going to find a point at which your wheel is the most centered. So just twist it around until you think it's as centered as it can be. Okay, so that looks centered to me. We want it to be centered on the top. The bottom doesn't matter yet. So next up you're going to grab two zip ties. And what you want to do is put the zip ties on the chainstay or forks, whichever thing you're doing it on, just around the height of the rim, and put the second one on the other side. Now put the zip ties a bit above the rim and line them up so they're straight. Now next up, you're going to grab some scissors and cut the zip ties about 0.5 millimeter before it touches the rim. So you want the zip tie fairly flush against the centered rim. Now you want to line up the zip ties so they're barely touching the rim. And there you go, you just made your own true-in stand at home. So the principle of truing a wheel is if it touches one side, so as you can see, it's rubbing up against the left zip tie here. So what you want to do is grab your spoke key, go to the spoke on the opposite side to where it's rubbing. So if it's rubbing on the left side, tighten the spokes on the right side. So what that will do is when you tighten the spoke, it'll pull the rim over to this side, to whichever side you're tightening the spoke on, and so make the rim straight in that spot. And make sure you do a few spokes along the rim, as that will kind of pull the whole rim instead of just one spot, and so make the whole rim straighter. So twist it to the right and just tighten the spokes along that line so that the rim isn't rubbing up against the zip tie anymore. As you can see here, it's not rubbing anymore, but we still want to put it a bit more to the right so that it's more centered. And just go on the next few spokes so that it pulls the whole rim, because more than likely it's going to be more than one or two spokes that's the cause of the rim going to one side, so make sure you tighten a couple of them. Right, so it's not going to the left in that spot anymore. So let's see. Okay, so it's not even so bad anymore, but what I have to do is cut off these zip ties and put them on again, because I cut them too short, but that's no problem. They're zip ties, so you can just cut them off and put on new ones. And yeah, I'll do that and then get back to you guys. And we're back. So make sure to line the rim up straight in the dropouts again, or the forks, and then put the zip ties as close as you can to the rim, so that you know if it moves even like 1/4 millimeter. So make sure they're fairly close to the rim. And now spin the rim. Okay, so we can see it's rubbing up on the left here again. So again, grab your spoke key, and on the right side of the rim if it's going to the left, or on the left side of the rim if it's rubbing on the right, tighten the spokes next to the spot where it's rubbing until it's not rubbing anymore. When the zip ties are in very close to the rim, it's possible to tighten it so much that it's rubbing up against the side that you're tightening on. So make sure to kind of run the rim along and see if it's not rubbing against either sides. That way you'll know that it's centered. You might get to a stage where it's hard to tell if the rim is going side to side, so you'll have to look really carefully beside the zip tie to see if it's going in closer or further away from the rim. So you can kind of hear the rim rubbing. So it's rubbing on both sides. So again, keep going around the rim until there is no more spots where it's going side to side, and keep tightening as many spokes as you need. It usually works in the way that if any of your spokes are loose, by truing your wheel you're going to get all of them. Because if a certain spoke is loose, it's not going to be pulling as much as the others, and it's going to make your rim go from side to side. So just keep going around the rim until it's as straight as you want it to be. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight if you're not running brakes. But I like to have my wheels as straight as possible, so I'm just going to keep going until I'm happy with it. Alright guys, so as you can see, the wheel is pretty straight. It's not going side to side anymore. But what can happen sometimes as well is there might be irregularity on how tight some spokes are compared to others. And what that will do is it'll make the rim go up or down, so it'll make it have what I call a hop. And you can fix this as well. It's pretty easy. You take the zip tie that you had, you put one of them to the side, but you take the zip tie that you had and put it over the rim. That way, find a flat spot, and that way you'll be able to see where it goes up or down. So wherever it goes up, you want to tighten the spokes all along the rim on both sides, so that by tightening the spokes you're going to pull the rim in, and it's not going to be irregular anymore. It's going to be the same kind of spoke pressure all around the rim. So keep doing that until your wheel is perfectly straight, or as straight as you want it. Alright guys, so I'm finished. I'm happy with how straight the wheel is. Let me just get a good angle here. Yeah, I'm happy with how it is. I don't need it perfect, like there's a tiniest bit of a hop in it, but I've ridden with way worse. I'm sure you all know some street riders who ride with their wheels that are just completely messed up and they say, it's grand. So that's it. That's all you have to do in order to make the wheel straight, and all without a truant stand. You make your own, you improvise, you know? So you can just cut off the zip ties and put on your tyres and get to riding. One last thing. After you true a wheel, you want to put the wheel flat on the floor and push on the rim, going all around the wheel. Flip it and do the same on this side. What this will do is any spokes that aren't straight on other spokes will pop back into place. It'll just make the wheel even. And after you do that, just check one last time if you're happy with it. I sure am. And yeah, that's it. So yeah guys, thank you very much for watching. I really hope this video helps you and teaches you something new, something that you mightn't have known before. As I know that before I seen this method, I didn't know how to do it this way, and I used to think that you need a truant stand to make a wheel straight. But all you need is some zip ties that will cost you like €2 max, and a spoke key and your bike, which you should already have. But yeah, thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed, please smash that like button, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah guys, I'll see you in the next video.
I'm only giving reality, I'm a lyrical legend. My complimentary honesty is a rarity, yes. You feed the fallacy to him, but I'm not really impressed, cause I can read between the lines and the sequel lies. And you were sane like me, been a pain like me. Do you take yourself apart with a taint like me? Wanna change